What is up, everybody? It's your boys Cam and T back on the Cam and T podcast, the first episode of the year, man. If y'all haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to us, follow us, man. And we happy to be back, man. Like I said, it's your boy Tony T Town West, and we have our other host Cam. Happy New Year's, brother. Happy holidays. How you doing, my boy?
Chilling, bro. Chilling, man. Happy New Year's, man. Happy New Year's. Glad to be back with all y'all, man. For
Yes,
sure.
sir. Yeah, same, man. It kind of felt weird last Tuesday when I was like didn't have nothing to do. I was like, dang,
Man.
like I'm so used to being like on the podcast
Right.
talking with Cam and stuff like that. So it was kind of weird, but it was definitely a needed break though, just to kind of just relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The whole week, man, just went by so quick.
It
Cause I
did.
took I
Yeah,
took the whole week out. I don't know if you did too, but
I
I
had
took
a
the
few
whole
days off. Yeah, in the past couple of days. Yeah.
I took the whole week off and it went by quick. It still wasn't enough, man.
Yeah, that's how it be, man.
Matter
That's
of
how.
fact, today was my first day working since before Christmas.
Mm, yeah.
Since that Thursday before Christmas. So it been almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's up, man. Well, again, man, we got a fun show for y'all, man. It's gonna be a good one. First episode of 2024, man. We're extremely excited about this year, man. We're gonna have a really good year. We're gonna continue to grow the podcast platform. And if y'all could just share this out to everybody, retweet us on Twitter, man. Follow the page on all platforms, man. And we're gonna have some fun tonight, man. So Cam, we're gonna talk about the college football championship games, college football playoff games last night. We had a really two really good games, man. Alabama, Michigan. We'll talk about that, and then Washington and Texas. We'll talk about those games. We might put a little Clemson in there because they played a pretty good game too the other day ago. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. We'll jump into the NFL. Lamar Jackson, your boy, going crazy right now. Is he quarterbacky enough at this point? Is what we are asking. Is he quarterbacky enough? If
Is
you
he
know, you
quarterback
know.
in the
But yeah, we'll talk about that. David Tepper in hot water again. Just got to pay. Just came out a couple minutes ago that he had to pay $300,000 in fines for throwing a drink. Just a whole bunch of mess going on. So should be a fun episode. I'm extremely excited. And yeah, man, let's just go ahead and jump right into it, man. And like I said, if you're tuning in from YouTube, we appreciate you. If you're tuning in from Twitter, you can comment on here as well, because now we can actually see your comments from Twitter as well. That's a new thing that they just started. And
Oh,
yeah,
for real?
yeah, they just started that this week, actually today, I think, or
Okay,
yesterday.
word,
Yeah,
word,
so if you're
bet.
on Twitter, you can actually comment on here and we can actually see you now in the post. So that's great. So let's go ahead and talk about the first college football playoff game of the day. I'm just gonna give a quick rundown of kind of what took place. I thought it was a really good game. I was actually pretty impressed with what Michigan did. I thought Michigan played very well, especially in the fourth quarter. And I honestly thought they were gonna get boat raced. And they held their own, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Mhm.
So I was impressed with kind of what they did. But in that game, they did beat Almighty Alabama 27-20. In a really good game in overtime. Jalen Milroe, last play of the game, didn't get in the end zone. JJ McCarthy had 17 for 27, 221 yards, 3 touchdowns, really was clutching the fourth quarter. Blake Corum, really effective in this game. 19 carries, 83 yards, 1 touchdown, which really put the game away. His
Yeah.
touchdown in overtime. Roman Wilson, 4 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown. Also, as well, I don't know if you've seen that. I think his name Tyler Morris. God, that boy fast. He had that big touchdown for 38 yards. And Michigan's defense really was the catalyst of this game, man.
Yeah.
Their star linebacker, Junior Collison, 10 tackles. He played amazing. Number 55, I think his name is God, I can't think his name. Is it Braden McGregor or something like that? He was from out in California, so that was like a homecoming game for him, and he played amazing. He had 2 sacks, and they were in pivotal times. Oh, we seeing some
Mhm.
Twitter comments now. I don't know if you see it, but we see y'all's Twitter comments now, so that's definitely what's up. So we can
Oh
start
yeah.
those now, yeah. But anyway, a tremendous game by Michigan. But I wanted to get your thoughts on the game, man. What did you think about the game?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, man, I want to say congratulations to the Michigan Wolverines. Um, you're welcome as well, because I kind of jinxed y'all boys during the game. Because I told them in the third quarter, I said Michigan ain't gonna score no more points, and
I
they had
seen
this
that.
was
Yeah, I did see your
this
tweet.
yeah
Yeah,
this this was when they had this was the when the score was 13-10, and I said
Mhm.
Alabama was gonna score 2 more touchdowns in the fourth quarter because I felt like that's what would have happened to the
Mhm.
Michigan teams in the past. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? They would have stalled out. So I just figured it was gonna happen again. But they proved me wrong. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
We talked about it earlier this year, or excuse me, last year now, but on the pod, when we talked about Michigan and we said that Michigan needed to make it to the national championship for this season to mean something, because the last 2 years in the college football playoff they've been bounced in the
Yep.
first round. You know what I'm saying? And they've always been good. They've always been in the mix for the Big Ten. But this year really needed to be that year. And I was watching the little interview that they did before the game with Jim Harbaugh, and he was saying that the first year they were just happy to make it.
Yep.
All right. Last year they had expectations, but they didn't reach those expectations. And he said this year was pretty much do or die. You know what I'm saying? So, and they've made it, but now they actually now you coming in, I assume that they'll be favored to win this game against
I think they
Washington.
already are. I think they're like a 4-point favorite as early
Yeah,
as this morning. I think it might
yeah,
have went down, but I thought it was 4 points. But go ahead.
yeah. And the game is what, Monday, right?
Monday. Yep.
Yeah, and I figured they'd be a favorite coming into this game, so they need to win, to be real with you, but it was a good win over Alabama. That was a statement win for the program, and really a strong win in this college football playoff. And
Yeah.
then, how did you feel about the game? And then, also, how did you feel about really, I guess, just the playoffs as a whole this year?
Yeah, man. As far as the game, I'll kind of give my piece on the game and then answer the second part of your question, man. I honestly thought, it was, I was impressed with what Michigan did. Like I said earlier, I thought Michigan showed, okay, we belong here. Like we're
Yeah.
not just here because we're cheating or whatever the case may be, or stealing signs. Like we actually belong here, and I think they showed that. I was just talking about this on what day was that? During Christmas time, all my days are just kind of running together. But I think it was
Mhm.
Saturday because Penn State was getting waxed by Ole Miss, and Ohio State had just got waxed the night before by Missouri. And I was
Mhm.
saying, bruh, if Penn State, if Michigan goes and gets routed by Alabama, we're gonna have a real conversation about the Big Ten. And
Mhm.
I think yesterday they really showed we deserve to be here. We're good enough to win a national title. And they earned my respect yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, because I was one of them kind of like, they ain't played nobody. I'm not really worried about them. They only play 2 games a year, Penn State and Ohio State. And that's kind
Yeah.
of the way I've always looked at Michigan, to be honest with you. But now they've really earned my respect by going down, knocking off Bama, and pretty much a 50-50 split home game. I mean, it was pretty 50-50 as it can get, honestly.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't like it was like, 60, 70, 80% Michigan. No, it was split atmosphere there in Pasadena yesterday. So I think for me at least, I thought that they did a really good job. I thought they played very well. I'm still not a JJ McCarthy believer to this day. I'll say it again. They won that game. He made some important plays in that game, but he was not the reason they won that game. People are making
Mm.
it seem like he's the reason they won that game. He's not. He's
Mm-mm.
not. He made plays, of course. Yeah, I'll give him that. But I still need to see. He's a Cam. You know what JJ McCarthy is? He's a little bit more polished version of K Klubnik. That's what he is. He's a more polished. He's a more polished. I'm serious. He's a more polished version of K Klubnik. If
Mhm.
you want Cade Klubnik to reach his full potential, that's what it's gonna look like. To me, is JJ McCarthy. I think they both kind of in that same realm of just average college quarterbacks. They're not gonna be great. They're not gonna be good. They're just average.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just the way I look at it. Once again, you can agree to disagree or whatever the case may be, but I just kind of think that's what JJ McCarthy is. He's an average quarterback.
Yeah.
And I
Good
thought,
athlete.
but I will say this: in the end of the game, he did make plays. I won't
Mhm.
lie. In the fourth quarter, he made a lot of good plays for them to put them over the top. As far as Bama, because I want to jump into them a little bit too. I'm gonna say something that's going to be unpopular. All right, and it might get me called some names, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I don't think Jalen Milroe can read defenses, bro. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. And I'm being straight up honest, bro. Me and my dad was having this conversation last night. I don't think Jalen Milroe can read defenses, bro. And I'm not. That's not me, because it's a stigma. I don't even like saying that because it's a stigma against African American
Black
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks.
But with
Yeah.
Jalen Milroe, I think it's the truth. Like I'm just and not saying he can't learn. He can learn. Like it's a learnable, teachable thing. But when you look at the film and you look at the tape, because I watched the game a little bit back again today, there were times where there were guys running wide open, and Jalen Milroe was so deer in the headlights, he didn't even know what was going on. He looked confused. All of that. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I know Bill O'Brien got a lot of slack last week. I don't know, bro. I'm not. I've been Cam. You've had this conversation off camera. I told you I like Jalen Milroe. I really wish him nothing but the best. But I don't know if he's like an NFL caliber quarterback. I'm being straight up with you. Like I don't. To me, he's a guy that is very athletic and that can run the ball and has a beautiful arm. That's it. I mean, that's just really what it is. And I think yesterday, when you seen a real defense come up on him, he struggled. Now against Georgia, because people are gonna say, "Oh, well, he played against Georgia." Georgia's defense has had, I would say, like 2 steps down from what they usually are. Like the last 2 seasons before, they were elite. I don't even think Georgia ranked in the top 10 in defense at all this season. So again, I'm not trying to slander and say Jalen Milroe should be a running back. I'm not saying that, but I am a little concerned about his ability to read defenses. I would be sitting up here lying if I said I trust the way I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that out because there were times where guys were running completely wide open and he didn't make it happen. I mean, just being honest. Now, a lot of that could be because of the pressure that the O-line was giving up. The O-line was giving it up yesterday. I think he got sacked 6 times. So that also could have been a thing. But to me, I am a little bit concerned about Jalen Milroe as far as reading defenses, being able to read defenses. Because when I watched the tape back again this morning, that seems to be a problem. Like I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not trying to be like again a coon. I know a lot of people gonna say you coon. I'm not. I'm just being honest, like factual. I am a little worried about that, but that's how I feel about that. I thought the play call at the end of the game was horrible. Just to be quite frankly honest. And then really just to go even further, man, I personally, as far as the playoffs in general, it was amazing. I thought both games were amazing, and we'll jump into the next game in a minute. But both games to me were absolutely amazing. I enjoyed all of them. And to be honest, man, I'm gonna say another thing that might be unpopular, might not. I think the national championship game should be at the Rose Bowl every single year, bro. I seen Curb Herstreet talking about that yesterday, and I'm like, bro, I agree. Like the national championship game should be at the Rose Bowl every single year, Monday night at the Rose Bowl, because it's every time we see a game in that stadium, it always seems to be elite. When have we ain't seen a bad Rose Bowl in like a while?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always an elite game, so I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't mind the national championship just permanently being at the Rose Bowl every single season. I wouldn't be mad at it at all.
Where is it this year?
It's in Houston.
Well, it's not a they don't do it as a bowl, right? It's just a national championship game. That's what it's called.
I think it's just a national.
See, I thought they used to do it to where I know the BCS did it a certain way, but I thought what's it called? I know back in the day they used to, if you was like number 1 and you played in the bowl game, whatever bowl game was, that was the national championship. See, I thought the playoffs did it to where they cycled through the New Year's 6 bowl games. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. To where, so like this weekend was what, Sugar Bowl and Rose Bowl, right? In the playoffs. And then the championship game would be something like the Orange Bowl or not the Cotton Bowl, but the Fiesta Bowl or something like that. You see what I'm saying? That's what I thought it used to be. But I guess not. But I agree though. I think the Rose Bowl, they should just call the Rose Bowl the national championship. Just do it like that. That'd be nice. I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'll be cool with that.
So that's kind of, and I have to give Nick Saban credit. He coached his team up, and I thought they played really well the whole entire year, especially after that USF game, excuse me. I thought they played well. So I want to give Nick Saban some love because I feel like this is his best coaching job of all his coaching jobs he's ever done. And I think that's why a lot of Bama fans are not furious because I don't even think they really expected to be here. They normally are, but like I didn't think they were going to be here in August. Like to be
Mhm.
honest with you, and they got there, so I got to give them credit. I think Bama's going to be probably back again next year, especially with the 12-team playoff. I'm pretty sure they'll be back again next year.
Oh, they in there next year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Them and
they
Georgia are
locked.
almost probably locks to be
They
in the
locked.
playoffs next year. So yeah, I mean that's just how I feel about it. But we'll see. But
Mhm.
that's kind of how I feel about that game, man. I wanted to get your take on before we move on to the next game. I want to get your take on Jalen Milroe and what I said about Jalen
Yeah,
Milroe. How do you feel about that? Because I know we both support black quarterbacks. Let me make this clear.
yeah.
This is not to down like Jalen Milroe. I'm just saying I am a little concerned that he can't read offense or defenses. I'm being honest. But I want to know how
Yeah,
you feel about that because I know you're a big proponent of, and we both are, of supporting black
yeah,
quarterbacks.
yeah. I think like you said, he can learn. He can
Yeah, it's
still.
something
It's
he can
still.
learn. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still trying to learn. Um, I don't know. When I watched the game, I I feel like it was. I don't know if it's not necessarily that he can't read a defense, but it didn't. He didn't. He just didn't perform as well as you expected him to perform, like he
Mhm.
been doing. In later on in the season. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But it could be very well because Michigan's defense is really good.
Legit.
You know what I
Right.
mean? And that could have been well, that was probably the best defense he faced all year, right?
It is by far. I
Yeah.
mean, I think they're ranked number. I think Penn State had the number one defense, and I think Michigan was number two, and I think Ohio State was three, and Clemson was four. So yeah,
Well, yeah, well there you go. I think he just faced a really good defense, a lot of NFL talent
yeah,
coming off that defense. So I just think I don't know. I don't know. It's really tough to say at this point in time. He's coming back next year.
yep.
So if he can't do it next year, then you know what I'm saying, we definitely gonna have to have those discussions like, okay, is this gonna be able to translate to the next level? Because
Yep.
after what you seen in that game, man, if he came out this year, you looking at a day two at
Yeah.
best,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But he coming back one more year. We'll see if he can improve his stock to get in there day one. But yeah, as far as what he was doing against that Michigan defense, it just didn't look that good. So I'm not mad at the take at all, to be honest with you, because like you said, that Michigan defense is the closest thing that he gonna see to the
Yeah.
NFL. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And so he gonna have to learn. He gonna have to get in the lab. And like they was saying on ESPN, he gonna have to let a naysayer know. You know what I'm saying? he go, he go,
Bro,
he
hold
gonna have
on.
to.
Let's divert for a little bit. That naysayer thing is crazy,
That's
bro.
funny.
Bro, when I seen Reese Davis, I thought he was about to let it slip, bro. I'm not gonna
Oh
hold you.
no.
I thought he was about to say let up, no,
Yeah,
I'm about to say we started out 2024 crazy, ain't we?
like this. Shoot.
I really
Reese,
did thought he was about to say that though, but yeah, man,
when I
crazy,
seen that clip, bro, they was sitting there.
bro.
They was
Did
sitting
you
there
see the
cracking up, boy.
way? Did you see the way? Pat McAfee looked at him.
Yeah,
Pat McAfee was like,
yeah,
"Oh,
man, that junk was crazy. He was about to let. I mean, he like Joey said, he was way too smooth with it, man.
yeah, yeah,
It sound. I thought it was about to just roll off the tongue, bro.
yeah."
Uh, like that. What show is that with Delroy Lindo where he tell them boys to go ahead and say the word that you want to
Oh
say?
yeah,
That's what I thought.
oh,
He
yeah,
was like, I say it with you. I thought he was
yeah.
gonna go like that,
I
bro.
thought it was too, bro.
That junk was crazy.
I seen that. I said, man, what? But anyway,
Yeah,
let's go back to
that's
the
funny.
football. But
Let
anyway,
that
let's talk about
naysayer know.
let a naysayer know it's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. But let's talk about the next college football playoff game we watched last night. Washington versus Texas, man. Another
Yeah,
really, really good one. Washington gets the dub 37-31. Michael Penix Jr.
yeah, man.
That guy's incredible, bro. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie to you. 29 for 38, 430 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he was tremendous, bro. The wide receivers, I mean, godly. Roma
yeah,
Dunze, 6 catches for 125 yards. Jalen Polk had a tremendous game, 5 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. Jack Westover, who's the tight end. He even had a good game, 6 catches for 59 yards. And then Jalen McMillan also tagged in for 5 receptions and 58 yards and a touchdown. I mean, obviously, man, that wide receiver force
They
is
loaded.
they are. I mean, it's loaded, bro. I ain't
Mhm.
seen a wide receiver core that good since it's been a minute, bro. I would
Mhm.
probably say Ohio State last year before, like when they had Chris Olave, all them boys on
Garrett Wilson.
CFP, Chris Olave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ain't seen a wide receiver core like that since then, for real.
Yeah.
Because them boys right there was
Yeah,
they
they they
talented.
they on that level. I would say they on
Yeah,
that level with Ohio State and Alabama when they
yeah.
had Smith Waddle.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to be on record too. We can go back and pull the archives. Who was on Washington in the summer, bro?
Yeah.
Who
It
was on?
was you.
I was on.
It was
I've
you.
been talking about Washington since summer. I said, bro, watch out for this Washington team. And now
Let me
look,
see.
they in the
Let me see
day.
if I can pull that up. Let me see if I can pull that
Yeah,
up real
try to
quick.
see if you can find it. It's somewhere out here though. But I've been talking
Preseason.
about them for since the beginning of the season, bro. And
All
now
right.
they in the natty. So,
So
like I said, man, I seen it though because I knew Washington had the weapons. I knew they had the quarterback. I knew they had, I knew they had it all. The defense is loaded. They
yeah.
got good corners. I like that Muhammad kid. He's really good at corner. I knew they had everything they needed to win a championship. And
Yeah.
I knew the Pac-12 was going to be good this year. That's another thing I called out this season. And lo and behold, man, we got Washington and Michigan in the championship. Now, granted, I will admit I have doubted Washington several times. You've been here, man. I've doubted them a couple games. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
they've always showed up and made plays and made it happen. And Michael Penix Jr., man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. He's balling, man. He's looking
Yeah.
really good. I know a lot of people love Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams and Drake May, but I'm telling you, man, I think this guy is right up there with them guys, man. To be honest with
Yeah.
you, I think he's a talented quarterback. I was telling a Falcon fan last night, y'all need to be getting him. He tough, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, man. I think Michael Penix Jr. is gonna have a great career in the NFL, and I'm telling you now, man. I'm excited about what that game is going to look like next Monday, which I guess we'll jump into next because we need to make a prediction because we won't have a podcast till after the game.
True. Yeah, you're right.
So again, man, I was really impressed with what Washington did yesterday offensively. I mean, it was tremendous. Now I do want to see what's going to happen with Dylan Johnson, they running back, because he did get hurt. But yeah, Cam, how did you feel about Washington as far? Because I know me and you said you fell asleep too. I watched it
Yeah.
back this morning because I fell asleep as well. I fell asleep right after
Yeah.
halftime. I'll keep it 100. But I
Yeah.
went back and watched it again this morning, and I seen it. I was like, man, that was a great game.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about what I'm saying, the game as well, at least of what you seen?
Yeah. I thought both teams was playing pretty good
Yeah.
for a minute there. I did real quick, I did want to bring up, so you had in the preseason top 25, I found it. You had Washington at 9th,
Mm-hmm.
which was higher than where I had them. I had them at 11.
Mm-hmm.
And you also was high on Texas. You had Texas at 12.
Yep.
And I didn't have them ranked, remember? So yeah, so you called it out earlier. But yeah, but as far as the game goes, like I said, before I fell asleep though, I thought it was good, man. I thought I really enjoyed seeing what the college football playoff could look like without the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you know what I'm saying? There's two good teams really battling it out. Two teams that I thought definitely should have made it because of how well they played throughout the year, and they showed that last night that they deserve to be there for sure. As far as Washington goes, like I said, I woke up. I seen a couple clips on Twitter, but Michael Penix was just throwing dimes all across the field. Like they said, he was absolutely tremendous last
He was
night.
electric, bro.
So shout out to him. I'm glad he made himself some money. Going to the NFL. I seen a couple people compare him to Michael Vick. I think that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't get that
I
comparison
don't.
at all.
I get now. Michael Irvin said that the way that the ball jumps off his arm is comparable to Vic, which I can kind of see that. But again, really the only reason why you would compare them two is because they black, they
Black and
left-handed.
left-handed. That's it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. And so but he did look good though. And that's no disrespect to Vic.
Yeah.
That's just they two different quarterbacks.
Mhm.
But he looked great last night. And like you said, you told me about the wide receiving core earlier in the season. You said them boys got it like that, and it's clear that they do. All three of those guys that you mentioned earlier gonna be playing on Sundays. So that's gonna be real nice to see. As far as Texas goes, one thing that I thought was really interesting and kind of weird is they kept talking about putting Arch Manning in the
Yeah,
game,
I thought
and
it was so. Yeah, I'll
I
let you
didn't get
finish,
that.
but yeah, I didn't. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I didn't get that. I just thought that was so weird, odd, and unnecessary at the time.
And honestly,
You know what I'm saying?
disrespectful for real.
Disrespectful, yeah.
If we're gonna be honest.
Because
I'll let you go ahead and finish though.
Quinn Ewers, I mean, he got you there the whole season. You know what I'm saying? He missed how many games he missed? Two?
I think
He
too.
missed two
Yeah,
games. And then obviously Malik Murphy stepped up and played very well, but Quinn Ewers got you there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Quinn Ewers had a chance to get you there last season if he didn't get hurt. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
he said that he was coming back next season, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it just to me, it just don't make sense to even consider putting Archie in the game. I don't understand what that was about at all. Because it wasn't like he ain't seen game action all year, if I'm not correct, if I'm not
We've seen
mistaken,
like a
right?
few snaps in games where they were blowing teams out, but not
Like,
no serious snaps.
so
No.
how was they expecting him to come into the game against a top team in Washington? I mean, literally, they was the number 2 team in the country. That's your first test in a playoff game? What you thought? You thought you was getting Peyton Manning? No, this kid, he's a kid. He's a rookie. I mean,
Yeah,
a freshman. He wasn't gonna come in there. He wasn't gonna do nothing different than what Quinn Ewers was already doing. And in fact, he probably was gonna play a lot worse because that
yeah,
would have been his first real action. So I just thought that was super weird on ESPN and the commentators and Texas, whatever they had going on, to even consider that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, what was your thoughts on that? What did you
yeah.
think about
I
that?
was just waiting on you to finish. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The whole Arch thing throughout the game and really throughout the week was just
Mm-hmm.
weird. It was really weird. Like I don't know if you've
Mm-hmm.
seen that picture where Arch
Yeah, the press
Manning is
conference.
having his press conference, and then Quinn Ewers, who is actually the starter of the team, is having his press conference. It looks like nobody's there, and then at Arch Manning, who's the backup and is probably
Mm-hmm.
not going to see the field to probably possibly after next season,
Yep.
is there, and it's everybody is over there. It was really weird. I thought it was very disrespectful to Quinn Ewers.
Yep.
I thought it was because, like you said, he got them there, and honestly, Malik Murphy too. He was a part of getting them there as well. Is
Yep.
now at Duke.
Yep.
Arch Manning, I didn't get why they was even talking about him possibly coming in. I think this is some media drawn up BS, which it always has been. I don't
Yeah.
think Arch Manning was the best quarterback coming out in his class. I've said that several times. I think the guy from Tennessee who we seen play the
Nico.
other day ago with was.
Yeah.
So again, bruh, I thought it was very distasteful and very disrespectful to just be
Yeah.
talking about Arch the whole time and talking like he was gonna bench Quinn Ewers when he wasn't even playing bad enough to be benched. Like I didn't get that. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. So yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense to me. I just didn't really understand. So I 100% agree with you on that. It just
Yeah.
did not make any sense. I don't even know why I was talking about that. But I did want to talk about the game a little bit
Mm.
more. What did you think of Texas defense? Because everybody was talking about how Texas was good in the trenches and they had good linebackers and they got obliterated. I mean, guys was running wide open. How'd you feel about that? Because I feel like Texas kind of got let down. Like I feel like they really didn't live up to the hype that we was hearing about this. Because we was
Yeah.
hearing this was going to be a great matchup between a good defense and a good offense, and
Mm.
it really was not like that at all.
Yeah. I just think ultimately I just think Washington really just came out to the play. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I just think their offense was just too powerful. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? I mean, we talking about, I hate to compare it, but we're talking about an offense that got NFL quarterback, NFL wide receivers, you know what I'm saying? Future
NFL running back
NFL
too,
running backs.
honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, I mean, you just got a squad that you're going up against. I mean, this
Mhm.
is Washington's year. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been to the playoffs once before, but this is their year. I mean, this is probably the best team they've ever had, right? I mean, shoot. They ain't lost, right? They 14 and
Yeah, they
0.
14
Yeah,
and 0. Both of the
it's
teams
the
in Natty are 14 and 0.
yeah,
I mean, I
it's
think you can definitely make that argument for sure.
yeah, it's the best team they probably ever had, legitimately. Um, and well, the best team I can think of, but
Nah, this is probably Washington's best
yeah,
team of all time. And
yeah.
on top of my head, I mean, I might be wrong, but yeah,
I mean, I just Texas again. I mean, this they just went up against a great offense. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's not really much you can do about that. I mean, we've seen good defenses, great defenses get absolutely demolished
yeah,
and lit up. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the college football playoff. They should be, to be really honest with you, they should be happy that it wasn't a blowout because
yeah.
we've
Yeah,
seen
I
top
thought it was
tier
gonna turn that
defenses.
way. I thought it was gonna
Yeah.
turn that way at one point. Like, oh, this looking kind
They
of
should
bad.
be they should be happy it wasn't a blowout because these top tier we've seen top tier defenses get destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So um but that's pretty much it though. I just thought it Washington was just handling business. Handling
Yeah,
business.
nah, I agree. So let's go ahead and talk about it. National championship game Monday. Will that be the 8th? Yep, January 8th.
Yeah.
January 8th, we got the national championship in Houston, Michigan. And then, you know what I'm saying? We got them boys, Washington. What you thinking? Who you got winning? What you think?
Man, it's gonna be good. This is a good game because this is the
Yeah.
last season of the Pac-12, right?
Mhm.
And this is kind of like the last season of the Big Ten in a way. I mean, this is the last season for a lot of things.
Yeah,
Last
no,
season
for
of
real.
the last season of the 14 college football playoff,
Yep,
last year of the Pac-12,
yep.
last year of the Big Ten looking like how it's looking.
Hmm.
Um,
College football, period, really.
yeah, I mean everything's changing.
Yep.
But with that being said, like you said earlier, I got to ride with the quarterbacks. I
Mm,
got to ride with the quarterbacks. I got to see Washington win this game. And I
yeah,
believe they are going to win this game. And the reason why I say that is because their offense clearly can score on just about anybody.
yeah.
And to be fair, they don't have to score on anybody no more. They just need to score on Michigan.
Michigan,
That's
that's
it.
it.
That's
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
They just got to score on them now. Now, I mean, I ain't saying that's an easy task, but that's all they got to worry about now is Michigan. On the
yeah,
other hand, Michigan's offense, we've seen them struggle. You know what I'm saying? We've seen them struggle at times against nobodies. All right. I
yeah,
don't know where Washington defense ranks, but I've seen them struggle against teams in the Big Ten that ain't had no business struggling against. You see
yeah,
what I'm saying? Teams that ain't make no bowl game. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on what JJ McCarthy does, in my opinion. Is he
yeah.
gonna go out there and look like the JJ
He's the
McCarthy that got
liability
carried?
for them.
Yeah. Is he
Yeah.
gonna look like the one that had? I mean, what game was that where he had like 90 yards and no touchdowns or 20 something yards? It was
Eh,
the game before Ohio State.
Ohio
What game
State.
was
Yeah,
that?
I think it was Maryland. Maybe I feel like.
And they won. They won by like 3 touchdowns or something
Yeah,
crazy.
I think it was Maryland. I could be wrong, but go ahead though.
But yeah, is he gonna look like that, or is he gonna look like he did against Alabama, where he made enough plays to put his team over the top? Because he made a huge that run in the fourth quarter was huge.
Huge,
And
very,
that
yeah.
yeah, that scramble, he took
Mhm.
off, ran about 20 some yards, it seemed
Yeah,
like. You know what I'm saying? So is he gonna be that player or is he gonna be the other player that I just talked about? Because
yeah,
you know what Washington gonna give you.
yeah. They
Michael,
gonna,
Michael,
yeah,
Michael, yeah, Michael Penix Jr. going out there for about 4 or 500. He not leaving without 4 or 5. You
yeah.
see what I'm saying? So, but I think Washington got it though. What you got?
Oh God, I've been bouncing back and forth all day on who I think will win this game because they are so evenly matched.
Mm,
Especially when you look at that Washington offense and that Michigan defense. I mean, that is
hmm
going to be a clash of the Titans, bro. I mean,
hmm
that's going to be tremendous right there. I've doubted Washington so much this year. I don't think I can do it again. I don't think I can do it again, bro.
Yeah,
I think Washington wins this game, bro.
yeah,
I've doubted them every single time they played in the big game, and they've showed up every single time.
yeah.
I think Washington because, and the reason I say that is Washington offense has showed up. I know that for a fact. Their offense gonna show up. It's a chance if you play against Michigan and put 8 men in the box, you can stop them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, for me, I lean Washington winning this game, man. Something on the likes of like 38-35. But I think Washington wins this game. I think it's a
Yep.
high scoring one. But if it gets to high scoring levels, Washington is going to win this game.
Because they can outshoot anybody. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Yeah.
exactly. And my thing is, my main problem is which JJ McCarthy shows up.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Is JJ McCarthy that showed up in the fourth quarter of this game going to show up? Or is JJ McCarthy that showed up at Maryland, and I got the stats right here that you were talking about, is the JJ McCarthy that showed up in Maryland when they beat them only by a touchdown, by the way. It wasn't by 3 point or three
Oh,
score.
it was only by a
Is it JJ
touchdown? Oh,
McCarthy
okay.
that only threw for 12 for 23, 141 yards and an interception, no touchdowns gonna show up? We don't know which JJ McCarthy is gonna show up. I know what Michael Penix gonna show up. He done showed up every week. So again, man, to me, bro, I gotta go with Washington, bro. At this point,
Yeah.
I've been debating all day. I think it's gonna be a close one. I think it can go either way. But I don't trust JJ McCarthy at all. He just reminds me a lot of a better, more polished version of K. Klubnik. And you know, as a Clemson fan, you know, he's just a liability, bro. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
But that's where I stand with it. One quick thing too, DJU going to Florida State. How did you feel about that?
Um, I mean, hey, it is what it is. It'd be nice to see him next year. You know what I'm saying? I kind of hope we beat him with all due respect. You know,
Yeah.
well, not no kind of hope. I want us to beat him with all due respect. But man, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to talk about the Florida State game too, real quick.
Oh
Or we can get
yeah,
to that.
you right. You did
We
say
can,
yeah.
we. I'm a
I
transition into
forgot
that.
about that.
But that yeah, DJ going there, man. I don't know if that's a good fit. I don't know how you feel, but
Let me give my
go
bars real
ahead. Go
quick.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
DJU to Florida State, I'm gonna be honest. To me, that's a downgrade, bro. I'm gonna be straight up. From
Yeah.
Jordan Travis to DJU, I don't care. Even Florida State fan, that's a downgrade. I'm gonna be flat out
Yeah.
honest with you. Now, I thought they was gonna get Cam Ward for a second, and I was starting to get real concerned because I'm like, bro, if they get Cam Ward, that's gonna be a problem.
Oh, real quick, T. The
Yeah.
game I was talking about for JJ McCarthy was against Penn State. He
Oh, Penn
was
State, yeah, he did
yeah,
talk about that game.
he
Yeah.
was he was 7 for 8, 60 yards. He
Oh,
played the
that's
whole
terrible.
he played the whole game.
Anyway, yeah, that's
Yeah. But go
terrible.
ahead. Go
But
ahead.
yeah, I think the FSU, I think that the DJU to FSU thing, I don't think that's an upgrade at the quarterback position. I'm gonna be honest with you. I I'm gonna be honest. The Liberty kid that just hit the portal today, I probably would take him over DJU. Slater.
Dynamic.
I would
Dynamic.
probably take Slater over DJU. And this is not me being a Skull Clemson fan or nothing like that. It's none of that. I think DJU's a good kid. He's a nice kid. He's a good guy. I've been telling y'all this for 2 years now. When it's time for a big game, he is going to flop. It's just what it is. We've watched it for the last now 3 years. At Clemson the first year, anytime we played a big game, he absolutely flopped every time. The second year at Clemson, every big game, he absolutely flopped. This year, if you go look at Oregon State in every big game they played in, go look at DJU stats. He flopped
Mhm.
every single big game they played in. Washington, all the big games they played in. Go look at the stats, and you're gonna see he did not play good. Again, I don't think, and he might be Clemson. I don't know. I'm not saying that he ain't gonna be Clemson, but what I'm telling you is, if Florida State's goal is to win a national championship, it ain't happening next year.
You
I
know.
mean, just to be honest, it's not happening next year. I can tell you that now. You might make it to the playoffs. I'm not saying that you might not, that you're not. But as far as winning a national championship, yeah, he's not going to win you a national championship. That's just that. And they're losing a lot too, as well, in the portal and
That's what I was about to say.
in
They losing a
graduation.
lot.
They're losing a lot. And they'll go in the portal and get to work and do what they need to do. But as you can see, and you're about to jump into it in a few seconds, in that Georgia game, Florida State lacks depth. They have nobody outside of that portal guy. I'll just say it. Without the portal guys, they suck.
Mm-hmm.
They have no depth. And I think that was pretty evident on Saturday when they got blitzed 63-3. But I'll let you go ahead and go forward.
Yeah, this is the moment I've been waiting for right here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Florida State, all that crying, all that whining, all that talking,
And was still whining yesterday.
All that tweeting, all that yapping, all that this, that, all that this and that. You went out there and got blued out by 60 points. That was an Orange Bowl record. That was a bowl game record, program record, conference record, NCAA record. You got blued out by 60. Here's my thing. This is how I feel about it. This is what you could have done, Florida State. You know what? We didn't make the playoffs. Fine. We're still undefeated. We're going up against one of the best teams in the country.
Yep.
Let's give it our all. Let's try to win this game. If we win this game, we're going to claim a national championship. You want to know why you should do that? Because you can. Because you can do that. If you finish the season undefeated, you can claim a national championship. And not only are you claiming a national championship, but you earned one because you beat the team that was back-to-back national champions.
Yeah.
But no, y'all wanted to get it. Now, don't get me wrong. It's going to be a tall task without Jordan Travis. It was going to be pretty much impossible anyway. But you ain't got to go out there. You ain't got to go out there and do nothing, though. I mean, you scored 3 points. And you still crying.
You can make the same argument for Georgia that they didn't care. And
the same exact argument.
You could have made the same exact argument, and they went in there and annihilated you.
And they went out there, and you should have seen the rhetoric from Georgia versus Florida State.
Yeah,
just what they were saying. All the players, we a team, we a family. We wanted to come out there and prove something. We wanted to win this game. We wanted an Orange Bowl trophy. They were serious about football.
Yeah,
they want to play and they want to win.
Yeah,
it don't matter what game it is. You want to win. Florida State, well, they left us out the playoffs. We had so many opt-outs. We had guess who else had a lot of opt-outs?
Yeah.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
They sure did.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot of transfer dudes too.
A lot of transfers. I mean, come on, man. Florida State didn't want it bad enough. That's the real thing. That's all it is. They didn't want it bad enough. This was their year. They crashed out when their quarterback got injured, and they sat out there and cried, and that's what they get.
Yeah.
When I seen they was getting blued out by 60, I was laughing.
I was
like, this is exactly.
I was laughing when they didn't make the playoffs.
Yes,
I was laughing when they didn't make the playoffs because I said the same thing.
This is exactly what you deserve. This is how you behave when things don't go your way. And this is what happened to you. And see, you already know, I don't like Mike Norvell, bro. I think he a fraud. You know what I'm saying? If the portal didn't exist, he lucky that the portal exists.
Yeah, the portal has saved Mike Norvell's career.
Job.
For real. Because I've been saying that for years now. I don't think Mike Norvell is really that good of a coach. No. I think he gets a lot of stuff in the portal and a lot of talent in the portal. And kudos to him. That is recruiting is a part of coaching. Don't get me wrong. But I've been saying that for a while. I'm not a Norvell believer.
He, in my opinion, he the same person as Shane Beamer. They the same person.
Yeah.
Shane Beamer Shane Beamer's slick might be better than him.
I mean, I can't say that because at least, I mean, it's a valuable point though. Because like I said, Georgia. Well, I'm gonna say the reason why I can understand where you're coming from is because look at what South Carolina plays every year. Georgia, Clemson, Florida State, Florida. I meant like they playing against talent. They have one of the hardest schedules every single season. And then Florida State really they don't.
Yeah.
And like I said, Mike Norvell has really just been saved by the portal. I've been saying that. Florida State fans wanted to argue me front and back earlier this season, saying I was like, Mike Norvell's not a top 10 or I don't even think 15 coach in college football.
No.
They tried to tell me he was better than Kalen DeBoer, Washington's coach, who's in the freaking playoffs, in the national championship right now. Like that's how delusional that fan base is. Florida State has one of the most delusional fan bases in all of college football. These guys got on Twitter yesterday after getting blown out by 60. You would think you just got blown out by 60. You don't want to talk about nothing.
Right.
They got enough nerve after Alabama lost in a close game to be tweeting, see, we should have been in there and we could have beat these teams and woulda. That fan base is annoying and they just make me sick. I mean, seriously, bro. But that's what I'm saying. Like, Florida State fans think Norvell is the best thing walking since sliced bread. I'm like, bro, I don't even think he's a top 15 coach in college football, bro. Like, I can name 15 coaches that I think are better than him. Straight up, bro. And that's just how I feel. And I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think the portal has saved Mike Norvell.
Saved him, bro.
Yeah. I don't
Saved
think
him.
Mike Norvell is no real good coach.
No.
He's getting
Good on
talent
him
in
for
the portal.
utilizing
I'll
it.
give him that. But besides
Yeah.
that, he ain't.
Right. Good on him for utilizing the portal. But
Right.
listen, man, when it come down to X's and O's,
No,
you know what I'm saying?
he ain't out there, man.
If you put the guys that he recruited out there, they're gonna get blued out by 60. Oh, wait, that's what happened.
That's what
You
happened.
know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what happened.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a fan. I'm happy it happened. DJU is not saving that program.
No.
Sorry to you.
No.
Sorry, Big Cinco.
And it's crazy because Florida State fans really think he is.
No, man.
They really are like, oh, yeah, we got DJU. We going to.
I mean, they should understand. They seen him play Clemson.
They gonna see, bro. They gonna see when them big games start rolling around. They gonna see.
They gonna see, man.
Bro.
He gonna look good. He gonna get you a game where he throw you 4 touchdowns. Yeah. He gonna get you a game where he get you 300 yards. Yeah. It's gonna happen. But when you play an NC State next year, if that's on their schedule, you know what I'm saying? When you get to the ACC championship game and run into an NC State again or a Clemson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What's gonna happen? Because Clemson know about him.
Yeah.
Clemson know about him. You know what I'm saying?
They know his weaknesses.
They know him. So listen. But with that being said, though, about Florida State, man, they shouldn't have went out there like that. I thought that was an embarrassment to their program.
Yeah.
And ultimately, to me, in my opinion, that's not how champions behave.
No, I agree.
You feel me? And I want to make this point, and I know you can probably agree to this, but give me your thoughts on this though. For all the flack that he gets, and for all the hatred that he gets online, and for all the comments, you know what I'm saying? One thing about Dabo Swinney is that he says what he means, and a lot of times it do come true.
Yeah.
Because one of the reasons why he don't use this transfer portal is because exactly what happened at Florida State. All those guys, see, Georgia, even though they utilize the transfer portal, a lot of their guys are recruits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. See, Georgia recruited, they transfer portal class might be top notch, but it's because they recruiting class is top notch, and they really are the top dogs in the country, pretty much. I mean, they won back-to-back national champions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But see, Florida State, they was all portal guys.
Yeah.
And so none of them guys, you see what I'm saying? You see where I'm getting at? None of those guys really felt the need to win for that program.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus the guys that you actually breed, that you recruit. See, Clemson, we bring in guys. That's why they play 3 or 4 seasons. That's why they come back an extra year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why they play in the bowl games. I know we had a lot of opt-outs this year, which makes sense because, it was just the Gator Bowl, but we still had a lot of guys who did play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could have opted out, but they didn't. You know what I mean? And if we was, obviously, I guarantee if it was the Orange Bowl, them boys wouldn't have opted out.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe 1 or 2, but, I don't think the whole, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, with that being said, though, that's the difference, though.
I think this is why too is, not to cut you off, culture. I talked about it earlier. Culture.
Yes.
It's a culture being built. When you talk about Kirby Smart in Georgia, say what you want to say about them. They built a culture of winning. That's what they do there. And you can see they took that game on Saturday seriously. They took it like it was a national championship game, and they wanted to prove something. We talked about Clemson. When they played on Friday, you could tell Dabo fell to his knees when dude made that kick.
Yeah.
That game meant something to him, and it meant something to that program. Say what you want to say, But again, I think you're making a valid point. If your team is 30 plus transfer guys like Florida State, those guys don't have no loyalty to you. They here
Right.
for 1 year and then they out. They
Right.
gone. And I think my boy Jay Sanders said it best. Culture isn't easily to establish.
No,
It's
not
not
at all.
easy to establish. So you got to give guys like Dabo, like Kirby, that credit on those things. They were able to establish a culture that seems to assimilate with women with winning.
Yep.
And you got to give that some respect. I know I'm a big proponent of I want Dabo to get in the portal, but
Me too.
not for 20 or 30 guys, like
No,
5, 10. I'd be
we
5,
don't.
6.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
we don't have to do it like that. I mean, our recruiting class has always been they
Exactly.
still good. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Mhm.
like we just missing pieces here and there. We need a
Yep.
superstar quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
We need offensive line help badly,
Yep.
wide receiver help. You know what I'm saying? This
Yep.
upcoming year, we're gonna need some edge rushers. Like that's
Yep.
just little things here and there. And if you don't even gonna get them for starters, just get them for depth, like
Yep.
you said. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But but when you sell your soul, you know what I'm saying?
Like
Think
Florida
about it this
State
way.
did.
Think about it this way. A lot of people talk about how the Rams sold to get that one
That
ring.
one natty. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Which is fine to me. That's fine. You go
Yeah.
to a Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's the whole goal. But
Yeah.
it worked for them. That's the difference. It worked for them.
Yep.
Florida State, it didn't work. They
No.
failed.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And the whole season came crashing down. And like you said, I just think about how big the Orange Bowl is. The Orange Bowl is a huge bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the top 6 bowls. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
New Year's
It's one,
6 for a reason.
yes, it's one of the top bowls. And if your boys couldn't get up there and play for that, come on, man. The college football playoff committee sitting there laughing at you. They laughing at you.
Yep.
So I just think that was ridiculous, though. I just thought, hey, but it is what it is. It's what you expect out of them. So
Yep. Not
yep.
surprised at all. I
Nope.
want to go ahead and transition to some NFL talk because I
Okay.
know we talked about, you want to bring up some playoff stuff and stuff like that. And I want to talk about your boy Lamar Jackson, who's really playing out of his mind right now. I think right now, I think it's pretty clear and cut. He's the MVP front runner at this point. Lamar Jackson's putting on the app, and it seems like every time he plays against the Dolphins, he just go nuts
Oh, he
against them.
going crazy.
Like
Yeah.
every time he plays, and I know it's his hometown team. I know he's from South Florida, but every time he plays against him, he just goes nuts. I mean, he went 18 for 21, 321 yards, 5 touchdowns. I mean, he was tremendous the other day ago, man. What's your take on the Ravens? As far, I think they clinched the
Number
AFC
one.
first seed. Yeah, that's what I thought. What's your take on that whole thing? And then you can start laying out this whole playoff scenario thing for me. But how you
Yeah.
feel about your Ravens? Because I know you've been pulling for the Ravens here lately.
Yeah. So I've been rocking with them. You know, Lamar is my guy. You know,
Yeah,
that's
Lamar being your
pretty
guy.
much
Yeah.
my favorite, pretty much my favorite player at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to see them doing well. But as a whole team standpoint, I really just want them to continue this up until throughout the playoffs. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Um, Obviously when Mark Andrews went down, Keaton Mitchell went down, my man J.K. Dobbins went down earlier in the season. The offense, we thought it was going to take a hit, but obviously when you got Lamar Jackson, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like,
Yep.
it's just a healthy Lamar Jackson. I said this before. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to stand on it. In my opinion, I think the healthy Lamar Jackson is quite literally the best player in the league. I
No,
know
it's
Patrick
not crazy.
Mahomes is right there.
It's
I know
not.
I know
It's
Mahomes.
yeah.
I
It's
know
not
he right
crazy.
there. But I just think what I've seen him do, these last couple of years, and really just the Ravens team as a whole with him on the field versus him off. I mean, the offense is just a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a whole different story. I mean, we talking about probably, even from a points per game standpoint and just how well they move the ball. When he's on the field, they one of the best in the league. When he off the field, when he was hurt, man, they couldn't buy a point, bro. It was that bad. You know what I'm saying? Their defense has been good. And that's another thing I want to talk about real quick. Defense is loaded.
Yeah.
That's one thing that a lot of people. I know.
That Baltimore defense is good.
Yeah. I want Lamar to
They
win his
back.
MVP. I
Last
mean,
year they
he's
kind
pretty
of took a
much
step back, but they back this year.
they took a step back before they traded for Roquan Smith. When they
Yeah.
got him,
Mhm.
everything it all changed.
Yeah.
So I want to give credit to Roquan Smith. I think he's not going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but he absolutely should be in the discussions. I think Kyle Hamilton should also be in the discussions
Yeah.
for
He's
Defensive
played
Player of the
very
Year.
well. Yeah.
Um, but that defense doesn't get enough credit as it should be as a team. You know what I'm saying? A team as a whole.
And that defensive
Um,
tackle the Ravens got too. Makuka,
Matabike,
Matabuke, yeah, he's
yeah,
insane.
Matabike,
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
Justin
insane.
Matabike. Yeah, they got a squad, man. They really do.
And also,
Um,
too, man, not to cut you off, we got to give some love to Todd Monken, the OC up there.
yes, yeah,
Ravens. He got them
yeah,
looking right, man. He took
yeah.
what he was doing at Georgia, kind of fitted it to, you know what I'm saying, Lamar's strengths, and he
Hmm.
got him looking good. And really, we didn't even talk about it. Lamar has had two really, really good games against two really, really good teams back to back because he
Yeah,
went crazy on the Niners. What was that?
49ers.
Christmas Eve? Or that was Christmas Day. So
That's
yeah,
Christmas Day.
so he went crazy. So
Yeah.
my bad, but go ahead though.
No, you good, bro. But yeah, no, the offensive. He said that him and Lamar before the season started, they had built a really good rapport. They
Mm-hmm.
kind of went through the playbook with each other, and I think they said Lamar feels very comfortable in the playbook to the point where he was really giving tips. You know what I'm saying
Yeah,
to Todd Monken, and they really built the thing together. It's pretty much what they said. Um, and so I think it's a really good team this year. I don't want to say too much because I really ain't try to jinx them boys.
yeah,
Um, but but as far as them being the first seed, man, congrats to them. Um, it'll be exciting to see who they play in the second round.
yeah.
Um, but other than that, it was another thing you asked me too. What was that? Before I started talking, you asked me something.
I was actually was how did you I was saying tell me about like your playoff because you were saying the playoff scenarios that you were talking about that you want to shape up
Oh
about
yeah,
who
yeah,
needs
yeah,
to win, who to get where. Because I've been paying attention to it, but I've I don't know exactly who needs to go where,
yeah.
all that.
So in the AFC, so the Ravens have the first seed. They're
Yeah.
already locked in. First
Mhm.
round by home field advantage. Blah blah blah.
Hold on.
So
Before you get started, now I know we talking about the Ravens, but I told you them Cleveland Browns was gonna be real this year. I
yeah, you did.
told you.
Yeah, you did.
And
Hold on,
they were just a game out from winning the division. I mean, now it's over.
it's
But
over.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I told you that I'm telling you, man, the Browns got everything they need to do to win a Super Bowl. They have everything. And Joe Flacco's playing out his mind, by the way. He's playing way better than Deshaun Watson has the whole entire time he's been in a Browns uniform.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you now, man, don't sleep on the Browns, bro. Don't sleep on them.
So I got our way too early predictions right here.
Yep.
Um, so when we're looking at the North, I had the Ravens winning it. I actually had the Browns finishing last.
Yeah.
You had the Browns finishing first, and the
Mm-hmm.
Ravens finishing third. Now yours, let's see. So who's in last place right now? The Bengals in last place now.
Bengals, ain't they?
Yeah, yeah, the Bengals.
But that whole
Um,
division is like has a winning record, right?
I don't know if the Bengals do right now. I think they're 8-8.
Okay, they might be. Okay, yeah,
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 I
yeah, they
think
are.
they're
Yeah,
8-8. But I mean, yeah, but for the most part, I mean,
yeah,
they all 500 or better though, for sure. Yeah,
yeah. They 8 and 8. You right. Yep. My bad.
yeah. No, you good. But you're right though. The whole division is solid.
Yeah.
Now I do want to talk about a division that neither me or you are high on, but it turns out they actually very good.
The
The
AFC
AFC
South.
South,
Yep.
bro. What?
Yep.
What?
They going crazy.
What?
Yep.
You
The
know
AFC South.
every single team is still in contention for the playoffs
Yep.
except for the Titans.
Yep.
The Titans are the only ones that are out. But listen. Here go the scenarios right here. So the Ravens 1 seed. The Chiefs already have the AFC West division title.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean they're going to be the 2 seed yet. They're actually more likely to be the 3 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Browns are in the playoffs. They'll probably be the 5th seed, and then the Dolphins are in the playoffs, but they haven't yet clinched the AFC East. The East comes down to the Bills and the Dolphins on Sunday.
On
So
Sunday.
here's so here's what happens. So here's the scenario for that. So if the Bills win, they clinch the AFC East. they'll be 11-6, and that most likely is going to put them as the 2 seed.
Mhm.
All right. Um, I think have they played the Chiefs this year?
Who?
I don't think the Bills.
Yeah, they beat them. You remember that's when Patrick Mahomes was crying about
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
beat the
So they'll
Chiefs.
be the. That's right. So they'll be the 2 seed.
Yep.
Um. Oh, we need to talk about that too. The Lions thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we need to
crap.
talk
Yeah,
about the
we'll
Chiefs
talk
too
about
in a
it. Yeah.
minute. Um. So if the Bills win, pretty much they'll be the 2 seed.
Yep.
If they lose, there's a good chance they miss the playoffs entirely
Really, at 10-7.
at 10-7. So it's
Jeez.
actually, and it's not even like a chance. It's like a very good chance. So this is what happens. So if they win, they're in.
Uh-huh.
Um, if they can still make the playoffs if they tie.
Mm-hmm.
If Houston and Indianapolis tie, or if Jacksonville loses or ties, or if Pittsburgh loses or ties. Now
Mm-hmm.
keep in mind, Pittsburgh is playing a resting Baltimore Ravens team,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they already beat them once this year, so they could
Right.
beat the backups. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Jacksonville struggling a little bit, but they playing Tennessee, so they should be able to beat Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
And Houston and Indianapolis is most likely not going to tie. So if Buffalo loses,
They
there's a
out.
good chance that there's a very good chance that they're out.
Mm.
Now Houston. So here's what happened with Houston. All right,
Yeah.
with Houston, so Houston can still actually win the AFC South.
Okay.
What they have to do is they have to beat Indianapolis, and they have to hope Jacksonville loses or ties.
Who Jacksonville playing against again?
Tennessee,
Oh, it's over. Jacksonville got that division.
yeah, but Houston can still clinch the playoff berth if they win. So all they got to do is just win, and they pretty much in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
Now
okay,
Indy,
let me ask you a question then. So if
uh
what happens if Houston and Jacksonville wins? What happens?
so Jacksonville they'll win the AFC South. And
And Houston would
Houston
be
will
in the
be
last seed.
they'll be the 7th seed most
Okay,
likely.
got you.
Yeah,
They just need to win.
but they just need to win. Now it's actually so pretty much the Texans and Colts game is pretty much a playoff game.
Playoff game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a play-in game actually.
Yeah. Play in.
Um,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so here's what happens. So the Colts can still win the AFC South if they win, and if Jacksonville loses. So the same
Loses.
thing is
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they can clinch a playoff berth if they win. And keep in mind they're playing Houston, so
Yeah.
it's a play-in game. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars, if I'm not mistaken, can actually miss out on all of it too.
Okay.
So the Jaguars, because they're all three of them are 9-7.
Yep.
So the Jaguars again win, and they're in. They win the division. But if they lose, they need uh if they lose, they need a Pittsburgh loss, a Denver loss, and for Houston or Indy to win for them to just make the playoffs. So I don't even know who Denver plays on Sunday, but probably the Chiefs. But
They play. Let me see, real quickly. They play
either
the
the Chiefs,
Raiders.
the Raiders. All right.
Yep. Who have already
So
been eliminated. Denver and the Raiders
yeah,
both.
they eliminated, yeah.
Mhm.
But that's for so Jacksonville. And see, the sad thing about Jacksonville is they were 8-3 at one point in the season. They
Yeah,
were number
I
one.
remember. Yeah,
They were number one, and now they're pretty much fighting for that fourth
fighting.
seed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Now the Dolphins are also still alive. So the Dolphins, well, actually they're in, but they looking to clinch the AFC. So all they got to do is win or tie to get the AFC East.
Mm.
Now the Pittsburgh Steelers are still alive at 9-7 as well. So to clinch a playoff berth, the Pittsburgh Steelers need to win and Buffalo lose. They need to win or Jacksonville lose. Or no, excuse me, win and Jacksonville lose.
Mm.
They need to win and Houston and Indy end in a tie. They need to tie. That's crazy. That ain't nobody tying. But yeah. So pretty much they need to win and they need Buffalo to lose. or they need to
Mhm.
win and they need Jacksonville to lose. So they can still make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
man,
guess
that's crazy. These scenarios are always kind of wild. So it's gonna be a couple like play-in type games this weekend. Then
yeah.
really
And
see
that's
what
just the
this in.
AFC. The NFC even crazier. Well, no, I ain't gonna say it's crazier, but see, the NFC got a lot of teams at 7-9, 8-8.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a
trying
way
to
the
make it.
Falcons could get in? Because I was seeing it there.
Yeah, so the Falcons actually have the easiest path to get in.
Okay.
Um, so the Falcons actually no, excuse me. The Falcons have the hardest path to get in.
I thought so. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Falcons, um, well, I say that as a joke, but the Falcons to clinch the NFC South, all they got to do is just win, and they need Tampa Bay to lose. But see,
Okay.
the problem with that is Tampa Bay, don't they play Carolina on Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that ain't happening. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? so, um, but the NFC South, but see the other teams. So New Orleans needs to win, and they also need Tampa Bay to lose. Um, but they can still clinch a playoff berth, which is weird.
Hmm.
So they need that New Orleans needs to win. They need Seattle to lose, and they need Green Bay to lose,
Hmm.
or they need to tie and Seattle lose and Green Bay lose. And then the Buccaneers. Okay, so the Buccaneers just need to win.
Yeah. Buccaneers just need to win. Yeah.
That's yeah, they just need to win. So Atlanta actually does have a long shot to get in. Um, hmm, that'd be crazy if the Buccaneers lose.
Yeah. It would be.
But that's pretty much it, though. I mean, that's the Packers. If they win, they're in. The Vikings are pretty much cooked. They need to win. Green Bay need to lose. Seattle need to lose, and Tampa Bay need to lose.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, that's pretty much it as far as playoff bursts. Seahawks still alive. They
Yeah.
need to win, and they need Green Bay. But
Should be
yeah,
interesting, man. Should be some interesting games coming up this weekend. Quickly, how did you feel about the whole Detroit Lions Cowboys situation? Because I feel like the Detroit Lions were absolutely royally screwed.
they were. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. I mean, that's pretty much it. They was that referee cost that for them.
Yeah, he did.
Um, and he got demoted
Demoted.
out of
Yeah, I
yeah.
heard. Yeah.
Yep, that was a
And he
bad
should be, no offense.
mhm. Yeah. No,
Because
I mean
you
that
literally could see the dude checking in with him, like, hey,
yeah,
I'm gonna be
that
an
was bad.
eligible receiver here. And
Cuz you can't mess that up. You
no,
cannot mess that up.
no.
Like that was literally a game changing call.
Yep.
Like that
Literally.
call that call changed the outcome for the Detroit Lions from
Yep.
a win to an L, and
Yep.
you can't do that. So yeah, he absolutely him and his crew, they cannot make the playoffs because
No.
that if that happens again, man.
Need to be coach doing UFL at that. They get to that point. They need to do UFL ball, bro. That's
Hey,
ridiculous,
yo.
man. Let's end it up here, man. Let's talk about your man David Tepper, man. Let's
Oh
end it
yeah.
off here.
Yeah.
David Tepper, he's horrible, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah.
let's just get right into it. David Tepper throws a drink on a player about 2 hours ago. He was fined $300,000, which is pretty much chump change. I told y'all this a couple months ago. You can probably pull this up. David Tepper is the new Daniel Snyder, bro. It's no other way around it. He's a laughing stock of all sports owners in all of sports. Like I told y'all, the Carolina Panthers, since he's taken over, has the second worst winning percentage out of all of sports. The big four: hockey, basketball, baseball, football. David Tepper is number two. Only in front of him is the Anaheim Ducks, which is a hockey team out there in California. The Carolina Panthers are the second most losing team since he's taken over. He's a liability. He's a laughing stock. And are you surprised by this? And at this point, I'm starting to question: is David Tepper even a good person? That's kind of what I'm. You've already said that. You've already said I don't think he's a good person. But now I'm even starting to say you throw a drink on somebody. That's super disrespectful, bro.
No, it's I mean, shoot, bro, you can't do that, man. And see these people in power, bro. They
Yeah.
think they can get away with stuff like that. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because if that was either me or you, and we threw a drink at somebody, first and foremost, we'd probably be scrapping or
Yeah.
squabbling. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll probably throw us out the stadium.
Yeah.
See, he threw a drink at somebody and just walked off, and probably
Mhm.
didn't get no hands put on him. You know what I'm
Nothing.
saying? Nothing. You know, he got a little $300,000 fine, but you know what that is to me and you?
$2.
If that, it's
Yeah.
probably more like three
That
pennies.
man worth $20 billion, man.
Yeah, 20
He ain't tripping
billion with
over
a
those,
B.
he ain't tripping over those 300,000.
Yeah, that ain't nothing to him. That's. I mean, what is that, man? That ain't nothing to him.
It's
You know what I'm
nothing.
saying? You know, that's one of his shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That ain't nothing. So yeah, $300,000, man. That ain't enough. I think the NFL should have try to remove him as an owner.
He great.
um, that would be nice. Because the Carolina Panthers are not going anywhere as long as he's the owner.
No,
And until he gets serious about football, they're going to continue being the worst team in all of professional sports. It's as simple as that. And
yeah.
he just got to get serious as an owner. But hey, it is what it is, though.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can't disagree with you, man. Cam, what an episode. We had fun tonight. Tonight was a really good episode, man. If you like this, man, continue to subscribe to our channel. I'm going to start posting on YouTube more in 2024 this year, too. So we're going to be posting over there. So follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, and obviously y'all can follow us here on Twitter, also as well, everywhere. We're everywhere, man. Listen to our podcast. It's on Spotify. Um, it's everywhere.
Apple
Apple
Podcast
News, yeah, Apple
everywhere. Yeah.
Podcasts, all that. So, man, another good episode, Cam. First episode of the year in the books, man. Again, man, we appreciate y'all's love and support. We told y'all this last year before the end of 2023, but we just appreciate y'all. We want to just say that again, that we thank y'all for all y'all support and stuff like that. Cam, anything else you got before we shut it down for the night?
Yeah. We never did it. We talked about the game, but score predictions for the national championship, real quick.
Oh, yeah,
Give me a
score prediction.
score.
I said I got Washington winning 38-35.
That's right. You did say that. I didn't say
Yeah, I said
mine. My fault.
38-35. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Washington. I'm gonna lock in 31-24.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that
Yeah.
game's gonna be a high scoring one, bro. I
Yeah.
really do, because like I said, them wide receivers. I don't know. I know that. I know Michigan is good up front. I don't know if they got the corners to keep up with the wideouts. That's my thing at
They
this point.
they got one. They got one for sure. I
Yeah,
don't know. They ain't
Johnson.
got
Yeah,
three
Will
though.
Johnson is a lockdown corner.
They
He
ain't
ain't
got,
the person I'd be worried about. It's
they
again,
ain't got
other
three.
corners. They ain't got three.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if
Yeah.
they got three corners that's straight up locked down. And they gonna need that for that team.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Mm.
But anyway, man, good episode, man. We'll be back next week for the national championship game. After that Tuesday we'll be back. And then again, I just want to give a quick rundown. We're gonna be on from now to the Super Bowl. Right after the Super Bowl, we're going on a month hiatus. So we won't be doing a
Yep.
podcast from, when is that? The second Tuesday of the month in February, all the way up
Yeah.
until, pretty much, I think March we decided on. Sometime in
Mhm.
March, we'll get it back going.
Till yeah, before the tournament start.
Yeah, March
NCAA.
Madness. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be off for about a month, and maybe probably gonna be a month and about a month and a half,
Some
honestly.
change.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a month and some change. So we want to give y'all that update as well. But again, man, thank y'all for the love and support. And we'll see y'all next week. Back to talk about the national championship, man. We'll holler at y'all next week. Y'all have a good one. Happy New Year's.